இல்ல ஒரு பூரான் கிடையாது.
Good evening, all. Hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, all. Welcome to the third day of 6-day adult faculty development program on securing the future, cybersecurity, forensics, and the world of blockchain, organized by the Department of Computer Application, MES College, Marapalli. This FDP has been a truly enlightening journey so far, with engaging sessions and practical insights from its distinguished experts. Each day has broadened our understanding, and this evening we continue that journey into yet another exciting domain of cybersecurity. It gives me immense pleasure to introduce today's esteemed resource person, Dr. Jobin Jose, Assistant Professor, Indian Institute of Information Technology, Kottayam. Dr. Jobin sir is an accomplished academician and researcher specializing in computer architecture, machine learning for system optimization, cybersecurity, and hardware security. He holds a PhD in computer science and engineering from NIT, where his research focused on the performance evaluation of cache memory. His scholarly contributions include numerous publications in reputed journals and conferences, particularly in the areas of cache memory optimization, cybersecurity frameworks, and machine learning applications for hardware performance enhancement. With over 15 years of rich teaching and training experience, Dr. Jobinson has not only shaped young minds in academia, but also contributed to the industry through consultancy projects in cybersecurity. He is a certified ethical hacker and holds certifications from Easy Council and Cisco, reflecting his expertise and commitment to continuous learning. His professional journey is equally vibrant beyond the classroom. He has served on editorial boards and as a reviewer of reputed journals and conferences, played key roles in organizing international conferences and FDPs, and actively participated as an evaluator in prestigious national level contexts like SIH and Twicathon. This evening, we are truly privileged to be guided by Dr. Jobin Jose, who will be leading us through two insightful sessions on penetration testing and malware analysis, both of which are pivotal in the ever-evolving field of cybersecurity. With his depth of expertise and rich professional experience, we can look forward to not to just learning concepts, but also gaining practical perspectives that will add immense value to our understanding. On a personal note, I feel truly fortunate to have had Dr. Jobin sir as a source of encouragement and moral support at the start of my teaching journey, which makes it even more special to welcome him here today. With that, let us extend a very warm and wholehearted welcome to Dr. Jobin Jose and look forward to an encouraging and enlightening learning experience. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Bismin, for introduction. So I'm here to I was assigned two topics. As you know, that those who are actually into cybersecurity or those who are actually yet to pursue the cybersecurity courses and all those things, they know that these are all vast topics. And to the maximum possible, I will cover some of the basics. But okay, the in-depth knowledge is again, it's actually no, it is an ocean. Like 2 years is actually sailing through us actually this big task, and we are actually dealt with that so to a certain extent. So that's the aim, and probably with the available time, what are all the things can be covered in the in the both the contexts. I will do that. So in cases if you feel to like asking doubts, you can ask at the end or an end of the particular session sometimes, right? So that was that, and probably you can interrupt me if you have certain kind of clarification for the session. Okay, so that's I just want to highlight to you. And we will be dealing with, or we are just going to see the first session, that is penetration testing. So when we are dealing with the penetration testing, what is the first and foremost thing is you can come in your mind? Any idea? So since all are faculty members, right? So they don't mind in asking questions, right? Since every faculty member are willing to ask questions most of the time. Okay, those who are in front. So let me just ask that particular scenario in front of you. Shall I ask questions to you as well?
If there is any vulnerabilities in the websites or applications software, so we'll check like using penetration testing and SQL injections, sir.
No, everything is that actually, as you said, like penetration testing us, it doesn't involve it not only contains the websites and all those things. So it actually subdivided into many parts. Right. So I'm just covering some of the aspects, but a lot of other. Don't think that this is only they get. So we can have very vibrant or very vast amount of things which is actually accommodated in penetration testing. So we are actually sailing towards the penetration testing, but we are actually dealing with the entire content. We are not dealing with the entire content. So that is the particular aspect I just want to convey to you now. Now we are going to straight away move on to the session right now. So yeah. Let me share my screen.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, so are you able to see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
So before
Yes, sir.
starting, so before starting this, so let me just, so I haven't prepared long elaborative slides for this, but probably first few things which is very much essential for you most of the time. So I'm just taking that one. So before, without taking much time, we are going to discuss what is penetration testing, and before that, we have you all heard about that hacking, right? So before dealing with the penetration testing, let me just discuss what is hacking. So what do you mean by hacking?
To get access of someone's credential or someone's data without, it's a malicious thing which you have done on someone's device or something like.
Yeah, so that means the misuse of any sort of devices. So any sort of through the use of or misuse of any sort of devices, you'll be able to capture the sensitive informations and such as your username, passwords, or other transaction details, or otherwise. Sometimes using these devices, you may need to damage the other person's system or the environment in general. We can call it as a hack. So the first term, the terminology which is hacking is evolved in the 1970 and it is popular in the 1980s. And from that particular point, around 1980s onwards, it is very much gained for now, very much how it's on popularity. Okay, so that's the main concept behind your hacking. And when you're talking about the hacking, can you tell me what are the types of hackers available? So maybe people are thinking that now in this particular group of people, those who are attending my talk, may be thinking about why I'm talking about hacking and all before dealing with penetration testing. Okay, you may be wondering about this one, but this is actually very much essential when we deal with penetration testing. But why? Because we need to have a hacker kind of mentality when we do this kind of penetration testing. Okay. So, and there's a relationship between hacking as well as penetration testing. So I will just convey to you, okay, when we progress it. So for that particular point only, we are starting with hacking. So we know that what is exactly hacking. So what are the types of hackers available? You have heard about there are few types of hackers available. Okay, so the hackers are nothing but the main three types of hackers are white hat, black hat, and gray hat hackers. So you know probably what is the difference between these entities or these terminologies in general, right? So what happened is it's a security professional. Okay, most of the time it will be white hat hacker would be a security professional or security researchers who might be able to see that, or who may be employed with an organization or hired by an organization to do certain security checking, in their premises most of the time. So that is what is a hacker. And what about black hat hackers is a malicious hacker. or malicious person who is otherwise called as a hacker. And this could be somebody who actually has the aim to destroy a particular environment or to capture certain informations from their victim. Okay, so this is actually the black hat hacker, and probably the other category that such as gray hat hacker will be played a key role, okay, between the white hat hacker and as well as a black hat hacker. It is actually, they cannot call us as a white hat hacker or a black hat hacker for a gray hat hacker because he's having both the capability. Okay. So sometimes if we working for the organization, sometimes they may do it in malicious one. That is the capability. That is what is called as gray hat hacker. And apart from this, few other are there: blue hat, red hat, and lead hat. Those are the classifications apart from the basic things. So what is this blue hat and all those things is quite understandable from your slides. So most of the time, blue hat may be as a part of white hat hacker. They may be hired by certain people and to test that product or security posture within a particular company. And even red hat is again, they are also working as a freelancer along with they are working with the company to prevent certain attacks. They are continuously monitoring and they try to prevent this black hat hacking activity in a particular environment. So when I'm talking about the environment, it may be within the government infrastructure, or it may be some company infrastructure, or anything, right? Then green hat hackers, again, those are have beginner knowledge or beginner level knowledge, in the field of hacking or in the field of cybersecurity. We can call it as a green hat hacker. And apart from this, few other are there. Okay, so one is called as script kiddie. So hope you know that what is script kiddie. Yes. Script kiddie is a particular person who is having the basic level of knowledge of related to the hacking activity, and he know that where there is a vulnerability or a particular problem lies over there, but he was unaware that how to exploit that particular vulnerability. So this is actually the particular person called script kiddie. Okay, so they have that there is a problem, but they don't know how to utilize that. So there are people like that. So they are their intention is quite higher, or their aim motivation is quite bigger. They want to become a hacker, or they want to become an efficient professional hacker, or most of the time, but they lack knowledge in that aspects. So this is actually the script kiddie. Then there are other hackers are available. So hopefully the other hackers are elite hacker, activist, and ethical hacker. So what do you mean by an ethical hacker? Though this point is actually pretty much useful for you right now. So what do you mean by ethical and unethical means?
Sir, like companies invade these white hackers to find any flaws in their system, like sometimes Pendeck and Google. I heard some kind of stuff. Maybe.
Yeah. So ethical hackers are something like that.
Sir,
Those who are
actually, ethical hackers are the hackers who got legal certification.
I know your voice has broken in between. Could you please repeat it once again?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello.
Am I
Hello, sir.
audible?
Am I audible? Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry, tell me.
Sir, ethical hackers are the hackers who got the certification for the authorized access of information.
Yeah, so that means, okay. Yeah, ethical hacker is the one who is permitted by an organization to perform an attack on the environment. Okay, so these are the person who is actually going to check, okay, along with the company person, and checking that what exactly which is happening, or what are the bugs in the environment, or what are the problem or vulnerability which exists in a particular organization or a company premises. So generally, these people maybe work with a freelance mode, or they may be a people who are actually hired by a company. So that may be an employee also, right? So this is what is called as an ethical hacker. But what is their duty? They need to find out what exactly the vulnerability and how the particular vulnerability can be exposed. So this is actually ethical hacker's duty. And apart from that, we have a hacktivist and all those things. And you know that you may be familiarized, you may come across word hacktivist. So what do you mean by hacktivist? Yeah, so hacktivist is a group of people who are working towards a common cause. Sometimes what happens is they may actually trying to deface a website or deface a particular environment, or they may try to interfere in another environment and putting certain slogans. Okay, so in favor of certain things. Okay, like that, you may be come across with news like some of the news may be actually spreading like some group of hackers may be attacking some website, and they are actually putting certain slogans or certain messages in front of the system and saying that okay, for this versus we are actually doing this. So there are people like that. So they are working towards a common goal, but they can, after they achieve this particular common goal, they can actually separate apart. So this is another part of people. They are working, they are performing an attack for doing certain operations alone. So these are other categories of hackers available. Now, why ethical hacking? So as I told you, this is actually peculiar to or pertaining to an organization to perform the security uh, exercise to find out the vulnerability in that. Now, what are all the skills of an ethical hacker? So why I'm saying this particular ethical hacker, this is very much no. The skills will be necessary for an ethical hacker, and as well as to the penetration tester. So there are two types of technical like the skill sets a particular person or a particular ethical hacker should pursue. One is technical skills as well as non-technical skills. When I'm talking about the technical skills, you need to know about the knowledge related to the operating system, and you need to know the knowledge related to the computer networks and so other concepts, and even you need to have a strong understanding about the security areas, related issues, and technical domains, and all. And sometimes you need to know that what are the algorithms which can be utilized to perform certain operations. Okay, so for example, if you're networking, how your packets have been routed from one particular node to another node, and all those things is very much essential when we are talking about the technical skills. And when you're talking about the non-technical skills, this is actually a particular person should have a learning capability, because what I'm saying is the particular knowledge which can be gained by a particular person. And so if you particular person want to become an ethical hacker, you should have a capacity or a particular thirst of knowledge. Okay, so there's learning ability. So he will be a continuous learner. So as you say that, if you're working with AICTE, compliance and all those things, maybe we leave the last point of the PO is actually that what is that continuous learning. So that sort of continuous learning exercise to be adopted when we deal with an ethical hacker most of the time. So there is one. The other one is the problem solving skill and even communication skill. And what are the commitments? You also require commitments from a particular person, and also you need to be aware of the laws which are pertaining to an organization as well as the policies of the organization. You need to understand the law policies of the government or policies of the country, or in short, we can say policies of the law, particular policies of the land, right? What are the standards and regulations? So these are things which is very much essential when we perform any sort of security exercise. Why I'm saying is every activity which is related to an ethical, even if it is ethical or unethical, it is bounded by law. So we have to be within our limitations, or we have to be, all people will be bounded by the law. So that there is no exception. Even if you whether what happened is if Unless otherwise, if you're not authorized to perform any sort of hacking activity, you are liable to be punished. So that is one thing. Okay, so that thing is like most of the hacking activity will be done by experts who is having an authorized to perform that one. Otherwise, it will be double for the individual. Anybody can raise it. Even if you try for an educational purpose, if you try but okay, so you are actually trying that you learn certain things and you try with it, and even if it is in a live mode, then you might be targeted, and at the same time you might be liable for that. Okay, so anybody can raise the notice according to Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita if it is happening in India. So that is actually how like there. What Yeah. So whatever we are actually done, it should be done within a controlled environment because for educational purposes. Otherwise, what happened is it can be you may be targeting some outside things, and maybe for that you may be liable for that. Right. So that's particular thing is very much essential, and you must be aware of that. So these are the skill set, and what are the hacker behavior? These are the four. When you answer these four questions, which are displayed on the screen, if you answer this first question, you may have a hacker behavior. So how did you steal or a particular company or a organization's data? Okay, then what you found out, and how do you stop them? Do you have a systems in place, and what are the calls? That means you have a particular procedure. When I'm talking about the systems, the last point I'm telling, when I'm talking about the system, it's like a standard operating procedures. Okay. Do you have a standard operating procedures? If there is there, what is the loopholes in that? So if your answer is okay, either is yes or no, whatever may be, but if you have a specific answer for all of the questions, then probably you may have a hacker behavior. Okay, you probably process that. These are the four main pillars, or we can call it as a hacker mindset. Okay, one is curiosity, creativity, respect for diversity of thought, and it could be tenacious. Okay, so we should, as a hacker or ethical hacker in general, we can have a curiosity, we should have creativity, and at the same time, you need to have a diversification of thought process, and all will have a tenacious behavior. Tenacious means not to give up, right? So, because why I'm saying this, even if you're not able to perform certain things in a first stage, don't get frustrated, and you have to keep on trying something else. Okay, so this is actually the hacker characteristics, and they don't give up. Once a particular person want to become a hacker or ethical, even an ethical way or an unethical way, they should have this kind of mentality. Then they spend hours, sometimes days, sometimes months to achieve a particular task. So don't think that on a fortnight it will be actually done. It cannot be, because it's kind of, I'm telling that from this particular point, I'm telling that this could be like something like a trial and error. Most of the time, it is either you may succeed or you may be fail. It is not because of your fault or your incapability. It's because of the environment, or it's because of the uh, tool or process that you have done. It's because of some certain other things, external factors. So what happened is, if you succeed in one particular attempt, okay, when you try that particular same kind of procedures for the next time, you may not be able to succeed it. That is also possible. So don't think that okay, at a one particular stretch, if you perform it, you can achieve certain things. If you achieve certain things, it will be well and good. But the thing is, you cannot expect that. You can expect something which is very worst. Okay, so that means if you try to find out certain vulnerability and find out that you did not succeed, and if you find certain vulnerability and then you try to exploit that, then you may not be able to succeed. Sometimes if when you try to, after exploitation, you found out nothing is over there. There are situations, and if sometimes what happens is you cannot do all those processes at all, that is also possible. And sometimes what happens is some commands or some tools, when you do it or when you try it, it may not work, or it may got corrupted, or it may be something, it may have, it may actually affect your system. Maybe your system got crashes due to some retrospective effect, some other things which may happen in that. Anything is possible. Okay, so the last part is, or the last characteristic should be quite evident. That is, you should have a capability to have a attitude like not to give up. Okay, so this particular thing I just want to convey to you. And now we're going to discuss what are the phases of the ethical hacking now. So this is pretty much important, because when we are dealing with the penetration testing, so there should be a relationship between these phases as well as the penetration testing. So the first and foremost thing is, again, I think some of your lectures may cover about cyber kill chain, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you just tell me what is a cyber kill chain? Idea. So the first and foremost thing is, you have to have an recon phase or reconnaissance phase, right? So the cyber kill chain aspect. So here in this recon means you're going to collect or gather the information of whichever possible mechanisms. In many ways, it can be done. Okay, and so this can be considered as a phase. So from this, again, the next phase, as I said, this is the next phase. That is, the next phase will be scanning and enumeration. Probably this will work in conjunction with your reconnaissance phase. Okay, so I'm indicating this as a separate entity, but it's obvious work in hand with reconnaissance. Okay, so what is this scanning? So after you found out certain informations, you can actually perform the real scanning, and you're prompting it to for the particular target and finding that what exactly happening in that, whether it's any sort of vulnerability or the problem which exactly lies over there. Okay, something that you need to find out after gathering the information. So that is the particular usage of the second phase, that is scanning and enumeration. Yeah, next thing, it will be gaining access. So once you found out that there should be a vulnerability, like what happened, how you're going to gain the access to the system by exploiting the vulnerability which exists during scanning. So after gaining it, sometimes what happened is you may need to dig deeper into the particular environment. Okay. So for that, sometimes what happens, you need to escalate certain privileges. That means there is, as you know, when your operating system is being considered, or when a particular company or company environment is being considered, you should have a access control mechanisms. Okay. So maybe in that case, you maybe need to get certain administrator privileges to get into the system. So that's why that you can say there's escalate. That's what it is called as escalation of privileges. So you're going to escalate the privileges from the particular privilege that you have to an administrator level. So that's because of that. Through that only we can able to get the full access of the system, and then we are going to maintain the access. So how we are going to maintain the access is up to the particular hacker. Okay, so they may maintain as soon as they wish, but the thing is, normally once a particular person is accomplished their task assigned, then probably they may actually withdraw the connection most of the time. And sometimes what happens is the last portion is very much important, that is covering the tracks, in the sense here they are actually trying to cover certain information, such as their locations, IP addresses, and all those things for making it anonymous. But obviously, some of the phrases may actually happen, actually there, in this particular phrases. Through that, the particular researchers may be able to find out at a later stage. So that is there. But obviously, we are just trying to do some of the phases of the first 4 phases. Okay, related to these aspects in our context. Now, so this is just for the testing. So if you are having a testing capability, then probably you might do work, that is, if you are performing ethical hacking in this way, that is black box or white box or gray box. It's almost analogous. And what happened is, it is black box means you don't have any knowledge about this, what is the environment, and white box means you have a full knowledge and you have a partial knowledge, and when we deal with gray box testing. And this comes your penetration testing, or in short, we can call it as a pen test. Okay, so here penetration testing is a subclass of ethical hacking. So when I'm talking about the ethical subclass, means you're going to simulate. This involves simulating some attacks to access the risk which is pertaining to an organization. So similar to the ethical hacking. So all phases which we discuss along with ethical hacker, okay, or ethical hacking, that is applicable here itself. Okay, in penetration testing also. Here you're just simulating it. So this is not that to attack certain things is not our aim. Rather, we are trying to see that what are the things can be done, okay, if a particular vulnerability exists in an environment. So then what exactly the duty would be, you have to suggest certain things to the organization or the particular owner or a particular person who hired you. Right. So this is the difference. So ethical hacker, that is, they actually authorized it, but this particular thing is penetration tester is again an authorized person, but they are actually simulating that certain attacks or certain things in order to exploit certain vulnerability exists, and they actually try to report it back for this organization and sees with certain suggestions or remediation measures. Okay. So it's like the remediation measures and suggestions is actually quite important when related to a particular ethical hacker or sorry, penetration tester, because that is just a crucial for them and they're crucial for the owner or the company as well. Okay, so the next I'm talking about the stages of the penetration testing, but just most of the time which is coincidence with the ethical hacking phases. So before you do the penetration testing, that all the people just hello. Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Oh. Okay, just a second. So am I audible right now for all of you?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so shall I continue? So am I audible? Hopefully, right?
Yes, sir. Now it's clear.
Sounds clear, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so unfortunately, I couldn't notify that previously because I am not aware of that. My voice is lost in between. Fine. Yeah. So we have been discussing about the stages of the penetration testing, and in the stages, the first and foremost thing that is before a particular person was started doing the penetration testing, most of the time they need to understand the requirement from a client side. Right. When I'm talking about this client could be a person who hired you or the company who employed you, whatever. It has to, or he has to get that particular penetration tester has to get the requirement. This is quite analogous to a software engineering part. You know that what is the first phase of a software engineering in general? You have to have your requirement analysis and you have to gather the information from the client. So this is quite analogous to that, this pre-engagement phase. And after he understood what exactly need to be done, he need to collect as many informations related to the particular environment he is going to work. So that includes what are the security policies, what are all the network structures, and what are all the what are all the uptime, or what are all the maintenance times and maintenance schedules, and all those things actually a part of it. But this kind of information is vital to perform a penetration testing. But they sometimes get very limited environment, limited information only, because due to certain security issues or security policies, the particular organization may or may not give the exact details. So sometimes what happens is they will be provided with limited information, and with that they have to provide, they have to proceed. So this is the challenge. Okay, so they don't know if they're also they're getting hired, but the thing is, as and when it is required, they are not provided with the exact information. They will be provided with only limited information. That is a challenge. And after that, they are dealing with, or they are trying to gather the information, okay, with help of all sort of platforms such as Google or certain other tools which is freely available, and they're gathering the information, they perform the record, and after that they actually identify what the clues which leads to a particular vulnerability. So I'm telling this very exactly, you may get it as a partial flip sentence. So what happened is, and then when you got that information, with the clue, then they proceeded, they exactly identify the vulnerability, and they need to find out what exactly the vulnerability which is there. Then after you analyze it, okay, then post-exploitation phase will come. That post-exploitation phase means this is after exploitation, what could be done? So after gaining the access in an ethical hacker point of view, what exactly to be done? So this is actually the post-exploitation phase, and the last phase would be a reporting phase, because they're actually trying to peep into your environment and say that, okay, this way it is possible, and then their aim is to report it, or their aim is to project the vulnerability, but they don't expose it fully. Okay. So ethical hacker means they can crack it, they can break this particular thing down, and they are actually performing that thing. But okay, they are authorized to do that. But here in this case, the aim is actually various. The aim of the penetration tester is not to put the particular system down. Instead, rather they are actually trying to find out the ways to get in the environment and finding out, suggesting or reporting the solutions, or sometimes some of the mitigation way or mitigation idea to an organization. They are actually suggesting it. So this can be done in the way at the last stage, that is reporting phase. Okay, so here in this reporting phase, the penetration tester summarizes all sort of findings. Okay, and based on the technical practices as well as other policies, based on the policies, if something is actually violates the policies which is exist in the company, then they may suggest that these are the violations. Okay, of that, it's the duty of the company people. You know that in a company, most of the time, the security decisions will be taken by a CISO. So this CISO's responsibility to take this particular report as such, or they can actually implement certain other the partial implementation also. It's up to them. Fine. So the penetration test is not bothered about that. Fine. So that is there. So some of the slides I'm just skipping it, because it's actually the explanation of the various phases. Right. Yeah.
So
fine. So for your understanding,
hello.
I'm just giving you a penetration testing report. This is a sample, but depending upon the company and the considerations of you considering a particular company, this format will be varies. So this is the general format of a penetration testing report. So this would be an example summary. Yeah, and this could be the remediation measures. And this could also involve this kinds of summary, whether it is what sort of vulnerability it is, what category it is, whether it is critical, high, or medium. And it should be a tablet summary as well. So what are the categories of that? How you are actually performing this summary? Like, number of vulnerabilities and number of hosts can be identified in that. What are the risks which is involved in that? Okay. And this is what are the methodology can be avoided, adapted. So you have various methodologies like OSSTM, NIST. So these are this particular institutions are actually creating the standards, security standards as well. So you have maybe heard about OWASP as well, right? So based on this, what are the methodologies you are adopting? It is being mentioned out there. So this is for NIST. Okay, and what are the detailed findings? Here comes the detailed findings. So what are the vulnerability which exists in that? What sort of vulnerability and where exactly it lies over there? Okay, what are the risks which is associated with that? Yeah, so that is basically the detailed finding. So this is the introduction about the penetration testing, right? So now we are going to see what exactly to be possible when we deal with the penetration testing. So the first phase, so as you know, it is what reconnaissance, right? So when we are talking about the reconnaissance phase, this is probably like an information gathering phase. So though we are calling it as explicitly reconnaissance, it involves two processes, okay, or two types. General, it can be either passive or active. So when we're talking about high passive, you're relying on cloud. Majority of the time, you're relying on the publicly available information. Okay, so that is the specialty of the passive record. So that we are not touching any of the environment. Rather, we are relying on the publicly available information with the help of the standard search engines and all those things. But in contrast to that, we are dealing with this active. Passive is we have discussed, and when you're dealing with the active, what exactly going to happen over there was we are just probing it, or we are just disturbing the particular environment and trying to find out whether any sort of problem which exists in that. Okay, so for both things, you need to have a lot of tools and all those is available, and even active vulnerability or active phase intent reveals certain problems which is there in the environment. Okay, so without much delay, I'm just giving you like certain things. So the first and foremost thing I would like to tell you that for information gathering or response phase, first we are dealing with the passive phase. Okay, when we are dealing with the passive phase, what are all the things we need to do that? Okay, so here I told you we are dealing with the publicly available information. So it could be an open source kind of environment. Like, so generally we are gathering the information based on the intelligence. Okay, you know the intelligence, right? So we are gathering the information based on the intelligence. That's why it is called as open source intelligence, or in short, OSINT. Yes. Is it fine? Yes. So now I think it's okay. Now we are just going to see what is an OSINT, right? So we are going to gather the information based on the OSINT mechanisms, right? So what's an OSINT? A lot of things we have been there in an OSINT. So depending upon the context and what you need, you may need to pursue with that particular mechanisms. You may rely on search engines, you may rely on certain like other searches, you may rely on certain like maps, and all those things is actually comes into the picture when we do the open source developments. Okay, so this is actually varies based on the task which is assigned to you. So now here in this case, even there are, we can call it as a penetration testing in general. There are people who specialize in this particular aspects alone, that is OSINT. we can call this OSINT analyst. Okay, their duty is to find out whatever the possible information they can gather from it. They are trying to specialize in that aspect as well. So we are just going to see some studies or some case studies related to how you're going to find out the information. Okay, so simple exercises only. I'm not going to get in and do it in a very complex manner because everybody has to follow. Okay, there. Okay, so yeah, so now I'm just giving you one task to do. Yeah, so this is the task for you. Yeah, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So you can read this, right? So just for it at one time being just deleting this. So after this fine, you can see. A cybercriminal responsible for a series of high-profile ransomware attacks has vanished. The only remaining clue is the fragmented NCIC number hidden within the investigation's scattered files. A corrupted image found on a dark web server is believed to be linked to the suspect, who is rumored to be on the FBI's most wanted list. Your mission is to reconstruct the NCIC number. Okay. So this is the task which is given to you, right? So just tell me, just read it, what do you understand from this particular task? You just tell me, what do you understand from this? Yes. And this is the particular trace. Just telling you, this is the particular trace the attacker or the particular person reveals. In the dark web, this is the only trace we can identify. Okay. You can read the questions. As I become responsible for the series of high-profile ransomware attacks, and your has vanished. So this is very important. He vanished it. The only remaining clue is the fragmented NCIC number hidden within the investigation scattered files. The scattered file is corrupted image. Okay, found on the dark web server. So this is the corrupted image which is found out there. Okay, so how can you do that, or how can you find out what exactly to be done? Now, I'm just going to deal with it, right? So I'm just go to Google, and what I need to search over here is, see, what exactly is given. The suspect is believed to be the link to the suspect, who is rumored to be the FBI's most wanted list. Okay, so you can search in this cyber, yeah, you can search in this like that. You can leave it in this most wanted cyber criminals for FBI. Yeah, probably. Cyber crimes. Yeah, so this is a lot of links can be given. Yeah, but the context is we are getting a corrupted image like this. So we have to rely on the image portion of this, right? How can I select it? We can go to this image, and we are getting us, yeah, so some images we are getting in. Probably you can look for this, right? But before that, let me analyze this particular image. Yeah, so shall I zoom? Will that be okay, right?
Yes, sir.
The face is not visible to you. Okay, but probably you just draw an outline of this particular figure. So where exactly his figure will be, your face will be, his face will be, where exactly the other part of that his body will be. Do you have any idea? So when you look into that, probably you see that there is a particular portion which is being covered. Okay, there's a flat place over there, and you can see that there are certain entities, probably with certain ups and downs. Okay, you can see there are border, right? This could be your border, and you see this could be your border, and there is a flat like surface of that. Then you can see that there is some black spots or there's some black things that will be in there. Probably you can see that these black portions might be hair. Okay, and this in that case, if it might be hair, then this will be they have their head part and they have this appendix, all sort of hairs. Then what happened to the face of it? So probably which part is contains this face? I think we can have that this would be the face pertaining to him. Okay, this must be his face, right? So that means here this must be his face. Then probably he might be have a slight orientation of his head towards one side, right? He may have certain orientation towards one side, right? That's the figure actually tells you, right? Hope you understood.
Yes, sir.
You know what happened is just we got certain research results, and now what happened here? Just check that. Okay, we have got a lot of figures. Just identify this. So this is said wanted by the FBI. Okay, we can just go to this. Okay, so it's actually like a newspaper cutting. Say that FBI has 5 new hackers to cyber most wanted list. So now here, is there anybody who looks exactly similar to the one which we have?
The first person.
Yeah.
First
So can you
person.
just check that? This could be, yeah. This could be. This one has this person's orientation, the head orientation towards the right side, and this is actually facing towards straight. And the fourth person is again looking straight, and the fifth person again. This fourth person has certain beard, and now we can see that there's no black spots here in the space, right, in this portion of the image. What happened here? So mostly this is left out over here as this person. This looks similar, okay, to the person who is given in this particular photograph. Is it okay? Can you
Yes,
able
sir.
to identify?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
now this is the particular image. So you can see that this is the particular image which looks similar to the broken image which we are having.
How to get
So now
there?
what we have to do was, we have to do further research on this. Now what happened is we identify certain person, but he said that the only remaining clue is the fragmented NCIC number. We need to find out what is this NCIC number. Okay, so each person's have its own NCIC number. So we need to check that where we are getting that from the NCIC number. So before that, who is he? So we need to identify who is he. Right. So again, we have to look for certain images other than this. That anywhere we can get it. Yeah. So we can look for this again. So we got one in an image. Yeah, let me just maximize it. See this. Who's that? Who's this? His name is Alexei Belan. Right. So he's wanted by an FBI. Right this. Okay. Fine. Now, but again, the confirmation is still not over because we have to get the NCIC number. So where can we get
How to
the
get the money?
Yeah. So we have to check for it. So where can we find it? So let me just check with this. Is there anything which can be done over there? Nothing. So now we have to go this. Okay, search for and again anything else. Here we are just going to see. So here you can just look for it as well. And when you read the news, nothing is available. You can just look for it something else. Yeah, you can do another search. Okay, so we need to perform this. What is this with his name? Okay, so here guess we got it. We got one thing, and here see that we got this particular person's image. Now we got an assembly as associated with that. We have a poster or image. See that there is a description, and see that what is the this is what is the NCIC number. See that W5076481159 and W580503649. So this is the thing, or this is the particular entity we need to identify, right? So this what we have done, we are just performing a simple Google search, and we are just searching for the images which is corresponding to a particular person, and from that we are able to find out the clue for it. Is it okay? Sounds good?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have a doubt.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can I ask?
Yeah, you can.
Yes, sir. When we compare two faces, sir, you did it manually, right? Drawing a bounding line or something. Sir,
Yeah.
can we use some deep fake model or something?
I didn't get you properly. Can we?
Sir, when we compare two images, so you did it manually, right? You draw an outer line on the face,
Yeah.
then compared, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So can we make that part more accurate, like using some deep fake model or some image comparison models?
That is that. So that I'm telling you, information gathering is like you can put it as like any sort of things. If you use scripts or some other extra tools, that is well and good. That is not an issue at all, right? So anything is fine. So because as a, like what I'm telling is this phase. So each and every phase, one particular hacker or particular pentest tester will think in one aspect. In the same kind of for achieving certain goals, the other people may think in a different way. It's not like that. All person's thought process will be exactly the same. You agree with that because all people are doing their researches and they're publishing papers and all those things, right? So there, each and every person's thought process is something like that. So because of that thing, people will be collaborating with each other and they're writing or they're doing their collaborative research as well, right? So their thought process is something like that. So I just performed a simple mechanism in which, okay, we can, whatever may be the case, you ultimate aim is you need to satisfy, you need to get an output or you need to satisfy the particular task or you need to accomplish the particular task. That's the only aim. The mechanism varies depending upon the person to person and context to context. Somebody may be looking for a simple like searches like this. Okay, they can achieve this particular task. Somebody actually do certain complex kind of steps, such as they write certain piece of code and they write certain image analysis and all those things. They may be able to find out or they may be able to achieve those particular results. It's up to a particular person. So initial phase, I told you. So it's like Whatever may be the case, it could be a trial and error. Whether you succeed or failed, that is up to that. It's not their fault or it's a particular person's fault. So keep on trying and achieving the things is actually matter. So we are getting this, right? So this actually accomplished our the first axis. Now we are going to see what would be, yeah. So I'm just giving you one more thing. So this is okay. Yeah. And now I'm just talking about, I'm not talking about the second task for time being. Instead, I'm just giving you another one because that is quite like understandable. So let me just go to just searching for it. Yes, yeah. See here, I have a figure or I have a particular image like this. Hope it is visible to you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So look at this particular figure and tell me what you're in for. What is your inference? Or what you can understand from this? It's more or less a task for you. Just tell me what you can understand from this.
The morning view of a city.
Yeah, that's morning view of a city. And I told that you just observe carefully about this particular figure and tell me what you infer or what you can get it from this as information. Because we are in the phase of information. So just tell me what exactly the information that you can gather from this. Don't take much time. Whatever you understood, just tell me because I'm here to help you out. Nobody's able to
Actually,
comment.
it is this. I think this language is translated from Arabic language, so it
Okay.
is a tourist place.
It's translated from an Arabic place. It's fine. Okay. So probably where this is an image. I'm getting this. I won't mention where exactly what is the source of this particular information. Hopefully, you can when you look into that, it might be the environment which quite looks like exactly in a Twitter, or a tweet. Whether you can able to find out the similarity. It's almost like what I can say in the morning, the cities display their beauty and present themselves in the newcomers. The beautiful city of Kifa has shown its virtue this morning. So this is the particular line I'm getting in, and I got an image. Okay, right? It's actually say this translated from Arabic back. So it's like originally the text will be written in Arabic, right? So that's one clue. Now what happened is it's probably like a tweet or it's something else which is coming from an X account. Hope you can notice those similarity, right? This is actually a picture, but probably this is not the exact view of the picture because I zoomed it. Yes. You see this is the exact view of the image, and see that what exactly there should be a time which is given then 1:45 p.m. of February 20, 2013. Right. So I'm getting this particular information. Now what happened is I'm just zooming it. Okay. Okay. So to this particular extent, let's find out what is the speciality of this particular image. What is the speciality? So yeah, I'm just telling you, if you fail to understand this, just tell me. Let me just tell you, this particular portion is actually a paved road, right? So you have a paved road, and on side of this we have buildings. Okay, so these buildings will be something else. So some buildings with brick. Yeah, there will be some shades of this particular building. And what happened is, after this particular building, there will be the height of the building was less, right? And there are people who are walking along with the pavement road. And what happened is, on the left of this particular road, paved road, we have certain buildings. And after this particular building, there will be land. Here there is land which is having trees. And on top of this, we can see on top of this particular building, okay, though there is a tree, because though it can be visible, okay, or with only the upper portion of the tree, but this tree will be at or the back side of this particular building. Okay, and when you observe closely, right, I'm just zooming in further. When you observe closely, what is the nature of this particular road? Can you able to see? What is nature? The nature would be, nature of the road would be, this is a flat road, and up to this road, this point, this road will be flat, and after this, there would be a particular steepness. You can observe over there. There is a steep over there. Okay, and that means in between, okay, in between this path, there is something. Either there may be a ditch, or there may be a river, or there are a tunnel. Anything is there. Maybe there's we cannot judge anything, but there are certain things which actually there. And here there is a steepness which is actually observed from this road, and from this particular point onwards, the road will be flattened. Now, what happened is, there is a tree, okay, on both sides of this, and on the steepness, when the time or the particular place when the steepness started, there is also tree available. So these are the informations we are getting it, and there are electric poles are there. You can see there are poles. So these are the informations you can get it, but probably this is not our aim. We need to know that what exactly or where exactly this particular photograph has been taken. Okay, so for that, what you can do for this again, you can just go look for again the simple Google, and just let me just close this. Yeah, fine. On this Google, and I'm just know that I'm just see this what exactly the image, right? So from this image, I'm getting this. There is a text to say that the beautiful city of Kifa. Okay, so what that is, you can take this as a first clue, and I'm just searching for it. Kifa. So Kifa is say that somewhere in Africa, right? And this is Kifa. See that this Kifa will be in Mauritania. So I'm just opening it in Google Maps. So we are just finding it out the exact places of where exactly Kifa is. So it's there in the Mauritania. So we got that. But this could be where is Kifa. We can zoom it. This portion would be the Kifa area. Okay. So we got that information, and but probably by our identification of how we are going to identify where exactly the place in Kifa. So we are not in a position to identify, right? So we are getting this many informations, and we are getting this, right? When you zoom it further, these informations we are getting it. So zoom is further zooming will not give you that much accurate because yeah, so I can zoom it to whatever extent possible, but probably where from where in Kifa the photograph has been taken. So that is a big question, right? Right. So how can you identify that where exactly the picture has been taken? So just check for it. So here, yeah. So just check for this straight views. So now this is option actually not work now. Now I'm just going to look for other tool, which is pertaining to Google itself. Okay, so I'm just minimizing it. So for time being, so we will be using this, right? I have opened it with Google Pro. Yeah, so here. So we search what Kifa. So say that you can say that Kifa Mauritania. So this is the view of Kifa, right? Right. So now what happened? You just compare the figure. Okay, we have an image like this. So you can see that the road is actually a paved road over here. So in that, according to the city of Kifa, this is the city of Kifa. So you can see that what are the paved roads. So this road seems to be a good road, and this could be the main road. This can be considered as a main road because it's paved now. So when we compare with that image, you can see that what are the roads which is actually paved over here. So this is actually the road. This is one road, and this is another road, and those roads will be joined together here. And you can see that there is another road which is actually coming out from this. Okay, and there is a deviation from this particular road, and the one part of this road is actually going here, another part is actually going over here. So this particular information you're getting in over here. Yeah, is it fine? So these are paved roads. When we compare to other roads, these are pretty easily identifiable and can be considered as the main roads. Okay, because it's showing in a thickness form, thickness way. The thickness you can see, thickness of this particular road you can see in the Google. Yeah. Now what happened? Where exactly the photograph has been taken? You have any idea? You can see that there are here when we expand this view, right? When we expand this view, this particular portion is having certain places, okay, with trees, okay, and probably when you go there, right, when you zoom out over there, okay, now what exactly here, you can see this portion of the road. This portion is actually part of the roads which is coming out from the city, right? This part of the road, again, this part is actually having some greeneries. You can see this could be trees. So when you zoom it, you can identify that this would be tree and this would be pavement, right? Right. Now, what happened? Where exactly the photograph has been taken over there? You can see this again. This is the part you can see. This is a suspicious part, and this could be also there will be another part which is quite suspicious over there. Yeah. So where exactly this one? So we have to confirm that whether it is where it is exactly, right? So we have to see. We have to go for this first particular phase first of all. Yeah, where exactly? Yeah. So here we'll just look for this. Is there anything which is exactly similar to the place where we observe in our image? Anything else you can see? I've just zoomed it. So now anything else? Nothing, right? So we have only trees we can observe. So according to our image, so you just compare with our image. So what is this is the image. According to our image, there is a trees over there. They are building. Then there is another building, and behind this particular building, there's a tree which is that, right? So this particular information we are getting from our image, but the thing is like whether those things can be get or got it from this particular Street View or the Google Earth, not exactly. Yeah, but hopefully we can observe certain things. You can see this is actually a tree, right? This is actually another tree, but you can see that properly this is a building, right? This is one thing, and you can see that there is another building over here, and apart from this, the road is going like this. Then here you can see there are a lot of greeneries are there. So this is actually happened over there, right? Fine. So now what happened is the image we are going to delay. So, but we are not in a position to identify where exactly where this is the exact place. But we have to see next clue over here. So this is actually taken as February 20, 2013. So whatever we observe in this particular figure is being the condition of February 20, 2013. But now whatever we are seeing over here is actually the exact condition right now. Okay, so we need to look for some historical informations, right? So for that, you can see on the Google Earth, you can see the show historical imagery. Okay, so under this historical imagery, you can go to this 2025. So this is the 2025 data informations, and we need to get the information in 2030. So probably we need to select that, right? So it's said 2017, 2013 now. So we are in 2013 now. So this is the street row image in 2013. You get the greenery is more in 2013, and you can see that closely. You can watch over there. This is the greenery is exactly visible over here, and you can have out over here as in such a way that it should be something. Most of the time, it is similar to the one which we are observing right now. Okay, so this is the particular image. Just have a comparisons. So this is actually taken in 2013, and using this Google Earth Pro, we can able to find out certain informations which is exactly similar, like almost similar to the particular image. Okay, so this is another exercise which is pertaining to OSINT. Right. So these are the two tasks I'm just giving you for getting an information. So you may think that, okay, after gaining this particular information, this is actually the OSINT exercises. We are actually dealing with how we are going to gather the information. So this is not, I'm just relying on the Google for time being, but the thing is like, you can rely on the other informations as well. Okay. For quickly, we will be going to deal with certain one or two tools now. Okay, so now here, what exactly we have to look for here? Yeah, see here, I'm just closing this. So here also you can check the correctness, or you can get the similar image when you use this Google Images. And similar way, you can use the same thing with other search engines as well. Say for example, there is another search engine called Yandex. Okay, so this Yandex is another one which also provides this kinds of image search. You can see similar to the Google, it also provides the interface. Here, when you click on this camera icon, you can able to select the corresponding information image, right? So in that way also you can actually select the corresponding image. Let me just check with the image right now. Yeah. So here, it's nothing big. The string, yeah. So let's check it out. I use this, right? So it's say that text and images translated from Arabic and all those things. So similar images you can actually observe when you use this Yandex OS, right? So this is the thing. And even you can use the same OS like your Google image search or Google Lens. You can search for it. These are the two other ways in which we can search for the images, but this kind of accurate information you may not be able to get it, okay, using this image search, but to a certain extent we can rely on that. Okay, so this is the information that we are getting in, okay, through the OSINT mechanisms. So there are plenty number depending upon the context. You can actually select the various tools. Now, after this, what exactly we need to do? So we got certain information. So that can be utilized for many purposes, depending upon what the attacker or what an ethical hacker is specifically looking for. Either this can be targeted for a person or to an environment. Okay, if it is related to a person, if you're finding out certain information related to a person, they can actually target that particular person by giving certain attacks on that individual. Or otherwise, what happens if they gather the information and they are targeting in company or an organization, that is also could be possible, okay, by various means. Okay, now this is we deal with passive way. Now we are just going to say what is an active way of gathering information and how we're going to perform and perform any certain operations in the case of an exploitations or whatever. We are just going to see. Okay, so for time being, just close this. Okay. So for this, everything is I just performed all sort of things. We are performing it in an environment such as virtual machine. Okay. So now I'm just relying on the security like testing platform that's Kali. And apart from that, we have a Blackhatch, then we have Parrot, and all those things are all security operating system, open source software systems or tools are available, or in this, we can say that in the form of virtual machine. You can, depending upon your taste and preferences, you can use this in any sort of mechanisms. Okay, so I'm just logging in. Yeah, so this is it visible for all of you, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so now what exactly I'm just going to say that I'm just going to select. So I'm just so now I'm just going to perform an active phase of information gathering. Through that, I'm going to select a particular operation or some particular exploitations to certain extent. Okay. So for that, again, I'm just relying on a particular websites, okay, or a particular virtual machine. So before that, for how to gather that information in an active mode. So for that, you can use this particular utility. Already it is available in Kali. That is what is called as a famous utility. That is called as Nmap. Okay. Apart, so I'm just concentrating on Nmap, but don't assume that this is the only tool which is available. You can use certain other tools like Scan or whatever. Okay. So this actually reveals you that like same kind of functionality, and that this is actually more bit okay, right? So anyway, that's this Nmap is actually satisfied our purpose. So I'm just using it. It's depending upon the context or depending upon the attacker modularity or attacker modality, they can use their own tools. It's fine. Now I'm just using as Nmap. Then here again, along with that, I'm just going to see what are the options available for Nmap. Okay, so for that again, you can use it with help, help options available in in normal Linux versions. You can use that particular thing and you can find out what are the options over there. Now I'm just performing it. Okay, so symbol operations with certain options that is small s, capital T. Okay, let me just check with that. Yeah, so these particular options are called as command switches. So I'm just zooming it for yeah, let me just check with that. So is it visible for all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now, so I just perform an operation. Or this is called as a command line switches. This is for a TCP scan. Okay, T stands for TCP scan, and I'm going to perform a port separation. So it's actually discovering the host which is available now. So along with that, what exactly need to be done over there is, okay, I need to type the IP address of the system, okay, which is which I want to look for. Okay, so I'm just search for us. I'm just looking for a particular machine if it is available or not. Let me just check with that. Okay, so this could be. I'm not quite sure about this IP address, but probably I might have it right because I have this particular IP address. Okay, so when I press enter, so this is actually there. Yeah, probably I might look for another thing that is in map. So let me just check with my IP address, like my virtual machine, whether it is available. Yeah, so yeah, here I need to check with it. So probably it might not be. Just check with. So here my IP address is 130, right? So yeah, fine. So if you want to know that, what would be my IP addresses? So this is okay. Fine. If my machine is not up for time being, okay. Let me just go back over here and I'm just restart it once again. So I'm just relying on this will be like probably I need to find out certain vulnerability over the machines, particularly for this particular session. So because of that thing only I'm just relying on. Otherwise, we can use a flat kind of search. So here, just here. So might be up for time being. Okay. So now I'm just go for it. My machine. Let me just check with that. No, it's not there. So let me just go back that. So here. Okay. That was yeah. this is, let me just check with the settings. So here I'm just going to see, anyway, let me just check with another settings, okay, whether it is fine or not. I'm just going to see. Yeah, fine, is it fine or not? I'm not. Okay, so I just, there is no particular vulnerability. So here what exactly the Nmap is going to do is it scans for this particular system and finding out whether any sort of ports is being opened or not. So here what exactly going to give it is I'm just giving an IP addresses over here, but probably this might not be the case because it suppressed the support now there. So now let me just check with that with other versions. So I'm just using this and there's key over there. Yes. Yeah, probably this might work. No, it's not. So that means also we can there is actually another thing you need to understand here. So here always we can see that whether you are getting the vulnerability or not is actually $100 question, right? So we sometimes what happened is this port maybe may not be blocked, it may be in a block stage or it may not be visible. So in that case also is for when you do the scan or scan operations, we may not be able to get the corresponding thing, right? So yeah, let me just try with this once again. So this is actually not my thing. Okay, so what I need to do was need to check with other virtual machine is if it is working fine.
Sir, I have one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
You are using AnyDesk and VirtualBox. Why, sir? AnyDesk and VirtualBox, Kali Linux.
AnyDesk is actually a connection tool only. I use a remote setup. Okay,
Miss,
so that
did you connect it to any remote device using AnyDesk now?
yeah. So this is actually not in my system. It's actually my another system. Okay.
Okay.
So do I just use it that to connect with that? I use in AnyDesk. Okay, so if you have a particular environment within which is there in your system, it might work. That is not an issue, right? So so that thing is like, let me just
This VirtualBox, VirtualBox.
VirtualBox.
You are using VirtualBox also, no?
Yeah, I'm using VirtualBox.
Why, sir?
No, actually, no. I told you we are actually doing all those things in a controlled environment or in a lab setup, right? So here everything is relying on the virtual machines. So what happened is we are using this virtual. Now, in order to host the virtual machines, we are using this VirtualBox. Okay. So all those machines have been a part of our virtual machine console, and using this we are able to like use the we can
I think means you are installed Kali Linux on VirtualBox.
Kali Linux is also in VirtualBox.
You install on top of VirtualBox.
Yeah, so Oracle VirtualBox is actually the virtualization platform, and within that I have added multiple machines in the sense multiple virtual machines.
Thank you.
Okay. So for time being, just let me just go over here. Right, I think due to certain limitations, maybe this will work. And let me just check with that. Due to certain issues only, I'm just using this as a virtual, like a remote setup. So, but let me just check with that. Secure. Okay, so let me just try with my local setup.
So, sir, why it is not showing here IP addresses, sir?
No, this is actually not adding in my network. I am not quite sure about what is happening over there.
So actually,
So
I think DH client is to be given. Sudo DH
Which one?
client. Sudo DH client.
No, not required at all.
Sir, one more doubt, sir. Your prestigious institution have forensics lab, no? From the forensics lab also you can do this, no? This penetration testing.
Lab is actually not a matter, sir.
Means this you can also do from your lab also.
Which one? Penetration testing.
Um,
That is okay, sir. Sorry. Yeah, so now I'm just performing in it, Nmap. Yeah, so we are in road now. So I'm performing as Nmap. Space. Second. So I'm just going to see what are the services which is available of over this particular code. Okay, with the help of Nmap, and the option will be hyphen SV. Then PM name, I'm going to suppress this port and just going to keywords 92.68. Just check for the IP address. Yeah, 144. May take some time. See here. Yeah, now what happened is you can see there are ports which is related to this machine. Okay. So what happened over here, this lot of ports has been ports has been listed over there. Previously it was not the scenario, but here you can see the status, you can see this open. Then we have seen that what are the services which is currently running on this particular ports, and what are the versions of the services which is currently been running on this particular port, right? So this you can see that whenever you find out this is the vulnerability, this is actually active phase of the recon. Now what happened is here you are going to try with it, and you're going to probe this particular system, okay, with IP address of this, and see that what exactly which is lies over there, whether what is the status, because port is actually the endpoint of communication. So we are going to say that whether is there any way to peep in your environment with the help of the port. So that is the aim of this, and you can find out a lot. You can observe a lot of ports have been opened over there. Okay, now again, I'm just when this is actually being the port is open, we'll be staying or we'll be actually looking for certain ports so that how you can exploit that with the help of those ports. So what happens is we are specifically looking for start with first port. You can that is port number 21. So this is actually know that this service is just running on this particular port will be FTP. Right, you can see. Now what happened is here you can see that how you're going. So what is the service which is being running over there? So this is VSFTPD 2.3.4. Okay, let me just check with that because we don't know where exactly the vulnerability lies over there. So we know that there is a version of the FTP service VSFTPD 2.3.4 which exactly put in place of this particular system. So now what you have to do is we have to go for Google. Okay, fine. We have to go for this Google and we have to look for it. So I'm just relying on it, Google. Now VSFTPD, the version will be 2.3.4. Okay, so check for this and you can see that there is a particular problem. There is a particular problem which is listed out over there. It's an exploit DB. So they say that backdoor command execution. So that means when this service is getting exploited, you can say that there is a background or backdoor which can be opened, okay, through the service. So this is a vulnerability which exists on that. And this what if you want to gather the information related to the vulnerability and all those things, you can rely on this exploit database. Okay. And now this is actually that. Now what happened is we know that there is a backdoor command execution which is possible on this. Now we can rely on, we can select the appropriate tool. So we gather the information and we found that there is a vulnerability by performing a simple Google search. So we got that there is a vulnerability which is associated with that. So we are trying to see that whether we can be like utilize that particular vulnerability or with the help of the services which is running over there. That is VSFTPD. So for that, we can use this particular framework that is called as Metasploit. So it starts with MSF console. Okay, so if you want to start with the Metasploit, the particular command you should give us MSF console. So now what happened is it's open and the prompt is actually given over here. So now what happened is the Metasploit is actually an open source framework which is inbuilt to the Kali or Parrot or whatever security tool or security machines which we have, operating system we have. And we can actually invoke that. With the help of that, we can actually try to, because there are a lot of inbuilt modules in Metasploit. In using that, we can exploit this particular vulnerability. Like for example, for this, we have a service called VSFTPD. Okay, so we don't know exactly whether the modules is present over there. So we can perform a simple search operation by typing search the service which is given that the vulnerable service which is given the number given as VSFTPD 2.3.4. Okay, we can just check with that VSFTPD 2. Yeah, so this is 2.3.4. Okay. So you can see that there are vulnerable service say that exploit Unix FTPD VSFTPD 2.3.4 backdoor. Okay, there is a particular module which corresponds to this, right? So we can use this particular exploit. How we can do that is either you can use this particular command as called as use. Then after this, you can copy down the entire thing that is from exploit to this particular thing. Then under up to backdoor, you can copy down like this and you can paste it over. Or otherwise, what you can see that you can see there is a number corresponds to this particular module. Right? There is, you can see Copy can this and see over there, right? This is S0, right? This stands for 0. So there is a number which corresponds to this particular module is given as 0. You can either use this, you can copy the entire thing and you can paste it over, or otherwise you can use this number. Okay, for easy use, I'm just using the number. What we have, we are actually giving, or we are actually in this. Now what we have to do is we have to see what are the things which is under it. Okay, now what we have to do is we have to use that other command, that is what is called as show options. So we have to see what are all the options available. Yeah, so options is that. So here you can see the options. So when we see the options, we can see that there are certain entities which is given as name, current settings, required, and descriptions. So here what you have to do is we have to give us, okay, what is the value? So current settings, we can see whether it is required or not, can be given with the third column. You can see that the status, whether it is required or not. So first 3 entities, the required field is saying that no. Okay, and the fourth one, it says that for R post, it says that yes. Okay, and for R port, again, it says yes. That means there is some entities which are mandatorily need to be set. Okay, so out of this 2 entities, R port is the default one which is already being set by the Metasploit, because we are trying to use this particular VSFTPD 2.3.4. Okay, so when we use that thing, the default port will be set to that 21 because we are trying to exploit with port number 21. Or are you all with me, right? So now we are going to see that what is the value of the R post. So R post value, again, there is a question because there is no settings which are associated with R post. Now we need to set the corresponding value for R post. So R stands for remote host. Okay, here, right? So L stands for local host. R stands for remote host and L stands for local host. Right. So now we have to set the value corresponds to R post. So for that, you have you can use the command called set, right? R post. Then we have to set the remote machine's IP address, the victim machine's IP address. So 192 dots. So we set the value or the IP address for the remote host. Now what we have to do? Yeah. So after this, again, port has already been set. Now we have to do is we have to run this particular exploit. So because we are under this and we have to run this particular module. So for this, we have to use the command called run. So you see that we are trying to exploit the particular host and see that there is a banner 220 VSFPVD 2.3.4 which is being grabbed, and you can see this backdoor services has been spawned. And see here, using that is I'm getting a UID that is 0. You can see within the bracket say that I'm getting a root access with UID 0 and GID 0. So anything with the ID, those working on Linux and you know that everything you have an ID, right? So every process has an ID. So this is if root has a ID of 0. So anything with 0, it can be root access. So you say that we have a found shell. Now what happened? This shell is being opened for us. Now I'm just going to see that. Okay, I'm just going to execute certain command. So it say that what is a PWD, present working directory in Linux, right? So I'm getting this when I'm typing over there, it said that root. So you can confirm that we are getting a root access to the remote machine that we have. Okay, now what I'm going to over here is I'm just perform on a simple Linux command ls. See here, this is the particular folder or directories that we have now that is actually retrieved from the particular machine which is under IP address 192.168.145.144, right? So we are getting that, and again we can actually force certain other commands that such as process. So what are the correct processes which is running on that particular machine? If you want to look at that, now those things are in actually possible because you can, yeah. Now what happened is we try to exploit that, and what happened is we are performing in post exploitation phase as well, because we are performing certain operations on the particular exploited machine. Because what we have done, we are trying to exploit the VSFTPD service. We found that there is a vulnerability which is lies over there, and we try to exploit it by using certain modules in Metasploit. And what happened is through that we are able to get the root access, right? So now what happened is after exploiting it, okay, we have gained it, and then what happened here? We are able to perform certain operations in that. Okay, so this is actually the post exploitation phase, and this particular session actually exists whenever the attacker wishes to close it. Okay. If he is willing to close, then till that particular time, this particular connection exists. Okay. So how can we get an exit from this? Is we can just type exit. So though you can see that command shell session 1 closed. So that means we are actually closing that particular access, and we are currently in the particular module. Right. So this is one way we are actually trying to exploit one port which is opened in one machine. And okay, this particular port is actually an FTP port, and associated service is being visible to you. Then with the help of the services, we are actually searching over the internet and find out this service is actually vulnerable. And after that, we tried various like modules in a Metasploit to get it exploited. Right. So this is one way in which we can able to perform the operation, right? Now, so this is one way. So in similar way, we have to use it. We can use we can exploit many ports now, which is being opened already. Okay, I'm just pressing it back. So in that case, it's go back to the console. Is it fine?
Sir, so many ports was open now, sir. So we have hacked through one port, FTP. If I want to hack some other ports, so same the pattern will be there, sir. Same thing.
Procedure is one and the same. The commands is one and the same. Only thing is, the corresponding modules will be different in Metasploit.
So in your case, you have used a private IP address, now, sir, your system only. For example, in my system, if I want to hack your system, sir, so how to get your IP address, sir?
No, you cannot get it, because only thing is it should be, if it is a remote machine, that's what I'm telling. If it is a remote machine, probably you might obtain the necessary permissions, or otherwise what happened is your firewalls will be open to you. Okay, you have in your premises or in your system, though you might be having a restriction, right? Or in my end, there is a restriction. So whatever communication which is actually coming from your end, which is coming through the firewall. Okay, so what happened is the firewall will be setting in such a way that whether to prevent or not prevent that particular communication. So that is, in that case, you need to bypass the firewalls in some extent, and then only I can reach and you can reach out to me. Right. In similar way, also, if I found that some remote machines on that, first of all, I need to find out the IP address. Okay. So only thing is, if I find out the IP addresses, because anyway, you know that every domain has an IP address. That domain is mapped to an IP address. But if you find out the exact IP address for a corresponding target, then only the kind of attack will be working. Otherwise, we cannot.
So here you attack the from your Kali machine to which MS exploits the Metasploit, sir?
Yeah.
You attacked from your Kali to Metasploit, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
So here the attack was very, actually, once we just type the nmap and the exploit is run, you got the access. So suppose if we are using the IP address of Windows Server, is it possible, sir? Because Windows Server, suppose if you are installed a Windows Server virtual machine in your virtual box, instead of Metasploit, if you are trying to access Nmap, if you're trying to use Nmap with Windows Server IP address,
It's okay. So if it is as soon as the one thing is like that's what I told you, ma'am. This is possible, but only thing is certain restrictions you have to you have to lift out. Because what happened is if it is server, if it is posted in the within the environment, and if it is then you can use it. So not an issue at all.
so the attacker must be able to change the firewall rule, right, sir? Then only he can get the access.
Yeah. If it is remote, then there is a mechanism. There should be a mechanism. First of all, they need to find out the IP address because only the public IP is visible
Yes.
to the outside.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So through the firewall, through the particular IP address, they have to reach out to the firewall, and then they have to peep into the, or they have to either they have to peep into the firewall, or they have to bypass the firewall. Then only they can have an address, access.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, can we do the same thing using website as well, like IP? In place of IP, can we provide any website? I mean, domain name or URL?
Yeah, if that is the case, you can. That is, even you know that you know the web for the website, you have a different, and there is an for that website is actually posted somewhere, and you have the IP address, right?
Yes, sir.
So the same case is applicable.
Got it. Thank you, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
Sir,
Yeah.
Is it okay if we have a 5-minute break since this is continuous 3-hour session?
No, it's fine, ma'am. That's now I'm taking the next session, ma'am. That's fine.
Okay. So participants, as per our schedule, these 2 sessions are continuous and which is handled by the same resource person. So we can have a 5-minute break and please be back by 8:20 itself. And again, and request from my end, please don't leave the meet. Please just stay and relax. Sir, we will be back by 8:20, right?
Yeah, fine. Not an issue.
We know that you are straight from your emergency meeting to the meet, and you are still in your college.
No, it's fine. I can actually manage 3 hours. It's okay. But I actually, what I can say, planned with the certain things, but unfortunately, due to the time limit, I cannot do.
It's okay, sir.
Sir, may I ask you one question?
Yeah, fine.
Sir, in case of if I apply Nmap scan in my computer, so will it anyways harm my system, or I mean, is the way it's gathering information from other computer device or other IP? So will it also open certain ports in my computer device which will harm later on? Is something like that, or if you
No,
can?
the only thing is, the only thing is if you perform the Nmap scan, there's like, what you can say, the router address, right? Or
Yes,
default
sir.
gateway address. Default
Yes,
gateway
sir.
address. Yeah. So if you know the default gateway address, then you can perform or you can perform a scan over the entire network, okay, with CIDR kind of addressing. When I'm talking about classless interdomain routing, right? You hope you understood CIDR.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Got
Yeah.
it. Thank you,
So yeah. So in that case, if there be a particular nomenclature to include the IP address, right? So if you give that kind of way, then it actually throws all sort of vulnerability which exists in your network.
Sure. Okay, got it. So it's in an intra-domain, then there is nothing much to worry about. But if we are talking about inter-domain, then maybe it may ask certain payloads in our system as well.
Yeah, it definitely.
Thank you, sir.
சரி, அடுத்து ஓலை சுவடி இச்சொல்லை பிரித்து எழுத கிடைப்பது எப்படி எது வரும்?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
I think we can resume our session.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Dear participants, I think we can resume this session. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So we can just start our next session. So without I'm getting 45 to the maximum. So within that we will do certain things for the next related to the next topic. So first and foremost things, you just know next topic, as you are aware, that is malware analysis. So here why we are analyzing the malware first of all. I'm not going to tell you any theory, but regarding this malware, because you know that what is malware and what are the classes of malwares and all those things. I'm not going to tell you anything in detail, right? So just tell me why we are analyzing the malware.
To get idea of what's wrong in our system, or what may be the consequences of that kind of program, which is malware, maybe.
Yeah, so we know that we have various types of malicious softwares which may access in the environment, which may try to peep into your system at any point of time. So that's why, but we have a various classes of malwares available. So it is because once it is affected, what they may actually makes a lot of changes in your system. Is high time, or it is very much necessary that what should be the behavior of the malware at later point, because once it is analyzed the behaviors and their pattern, then only we can say that we can in the future, we can take certain control or precautionary measures for that. Now, what happened is over here, this is a particular environment I'm just using for my malware analysis because I'm using Windows-based malware analysis. As you know that Windows is actually the most prominent target for some sort of malwares nowadays. But so slowly the other operating system is also affected with malware. But prominent majority of the malwares is actually comes with Windows. So I'm just looking for it. Here the particular setup was we use this for analysis is virtual machine again. It's otherwise it is normal. It is normal virtual machine, but the thing is that there is a layer on top of it. That is what is called as a Flare VM. It's open source. It is quite freely available. You can search in Google and you can get the particular layer, and you can download it and you can use it for your purpose. So it's available now. What we have to do was this thing. We have a lot of tools are there. So what I have to do is, but before starting our analysis, first and foremost thing, I'm just requesting you need to do certain settings. So for that, you need to ensure that within your host machines, I'm getting slowness in my system. Probably, yeah. Yes, see. So we need to check for this. Okay, first of all, Windows Defender. So we need to check that if within the host machine, whether your Windows machine or Windows Defender has been turned on or off or no, turned off. So you need to check it off. If it is not turned off, you have to check it manually. You have to turn it off mandatorily. And second thing is, we have to check for virus and threat protection settings. So here, so you can see that, yeah, this is Windows Defender Firewall. So under this, okay, so you can see this turn Windows Defender Firewall on or off. When you click on it, it will be giving you permissions to turn it on or off. Okay, so I already made it off. So I'm not going to do it right now in order to save the time. Now I have to go for virus and threat protection. So here you can see the current threats, and you can go to virus and threat protection settings over there, and you can click on manage settings. So this is real-time protection. So this you have to turn it off. Otherwise, what happens is the type of malware that you're going to analyze will not stay in your system. It will getting deleted automatically due to this protection settings. Okay, so now I've just turned it off. Okay, similar way, within this particular setting I have done with my host machine where I have hosted this virtual machine. Right now, the same kind of thing. The same kind of thing that you have to do was see. Yeah, got a problem with my virtual setup right now. So just a minute, please bear with me for the time being. So what we have to do is here, so a similar kind of setups you have to do is do in here in our virtual machine environment as well. So this is the first and foremost thing that you need to do it. And now what we have to do in our analysis. So first and foremost things is we are just describing the process, and after that we will move on to the corresponding techniques. So what we have to do is an analysis. So here in this case, we are going to find out what is the indicators of compromise when we are dealing with the system. So I'm experiencing a delay in connecting with the network. That's what the issue. Okay, so here what we have to we are going to use here is how to analyze it. So what are the indicators of compromise? So generally when a particular malware is getting affected, what could be your indicators? Can anyone say?
Sorry, please again.
Yeah.
Maybe there are multiple folders created by itself, or replicating certain things, or getting your system down slowly, or something like that.
Okay. Apart from that,
Duplicates files.
okay. So yeah, so these are the indicators of compromise. Normally, what happened is when you're getting it, what exactly which exactly going to happen over here is multiple symptoms. You may experience a slowdown, or you may be experiences what happened as multiple folders. You may actually get it noted, or sometimes what happened is some unwanted communication which exactly going to happen towards outside, and all those things are maybe a part of it, right? So hope we agree with that. Now, before seeing that, let me just load this. So this is a particular environment I told you. So I'm just going to check what's my settings. So here I'm just going to this, and I'm just selecting the settings in my virtual machine. I already turned my Defender off, but virus and threat protection settings I need to see. So here again, the manual settings. I have to set the real-time protection. I have to set this particular thing as off. Okay, fine. So these are the initial setup I need to do. And after this, I have to have all my analysis samples. We can call it as a sample, because by analysis, somehow or other, we are getting this particular things. So all sort of malwares we have to do, we have to perform an analysis in a controlled environment only, such as virtual machine, or otherwise a particular specifically designed like online tools. So whatever. So that is the peculiar thing which is to be needed. Otherwise, we cannot open, or we can openly analyze a particular malware unless otherwise we don't know. Unless otherwise we have the different tools. We cannot open it. Okay, so that's what. And now for time being, so I told you we have to set up, or we have to switch off or turn off your virus and threat protection settings, both in the host machine as well as host machine. But this settings you need to visit, or you need to check periodically, because here and there this virus and threat protection is actually getting enabled even if you disabled initially. So once during the analysis, if in any cause it actually does by malware or the related results we are not able to get it, then you might suspect that the particular settings has got activated and the malware samples got deleted. Okay, so that's particular thing you need to take care in when you do this. Now, first of all, we are going to discuss whether what is this analysis. On a endowment analysis is being considered. We have various phases of the analysis. First phase, we are going to discuss about what exactly we are going to we are not going to disturb a particular sample or a malware and find out what exactly the indicators or what we can observe from the particular sample or particular item. So that is the first motive. And after that, what happened is, even in case if it is allowed or if you're allowed with, then you can able to perform by executing this particular piece of tool or particular piece of software in that through which you can able to understand the behavior. Okay, and again, if you want to extend it further, there are another possibilities, like you can actually look for the code of the malware. That is also possible. Okay, appropriate using the appropriate tool, and in that case, of also find that you can analyze that what exactly the code, how the code is working fine, and probably that might throw another way, like how you can nullify or reversing the effect. This is actually called as reverse engineering. Okay, so for this, lot of coding skills is actually necessary to perform the reverse engineering, so that you may actually nullify the effect of the malware by finding out where exactly the main function which lies over there. So we are not going to deal with that now. So now for time being, we are just going to perform the first analysis. So for doing the analysis, I have my particular so I need to check whether my sample is available. So for that, I'm just going to check with it. Here and there it is getting popped up. Now fine. So I have to just say I might sample us whether it's available or not. Just need to check. So here. So I already done with some samples. Let me just check with that some of the samples. I have just go to select this. Samples. Yeah. So again, my network got slow. Just a second. Okay, so we just see that some theory. Now also I'm just rectifying that connections because there are certain works which has actually happened without my knowledge. So that's what the issue will be. It's getting done within 5 minutes. So fine. So we are just going to see. Yeah. This I'm skipping it for time being. Yeah. So first of
yeah,
all, we are going to. Hello.
sir. Actually, AnyDesk is used to access some other system, na sir?
That's what that remote process what got some error now. Because they have done with certain the system side, they are done with certain other work. Without my knowledge, it was actually done. So that's what the issue. It's getting rectified right now. I'm just getting the connection now.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so for time being,
In my computer also VMware is there, sir, workstation.
that is fine. You can use this VMware also. See, there is for installing this virtual machine, you are asking then if it is virtual machine, anywhere, if you can, I use VirtualBox, but it is convenient for me, but you can use it virtual, like what I can say, VMware as well.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So now I'm going to use this tool. So I'm going to select it. That is before that. Okay, so my sample was here. It will be in zip format most of the time. So we need to extract this particular zip. Yeah, so we are just performing this extraction. So while extracting, it may ask for password. So here what I have to do was the password, generally speaking, it would be infected. So that file already been there. Now what I have to do is I have to select the first tool. So for selecting the first tool, I'm just looking for this tool again. There are plenty of tools is available. Some of the tools has been already there in my desktop, and some of the tools I need to search it from some C drive. Okay. So now I have to do is I need to identify what could be this particular file is. So for that, I'm just using the particular tool. So you can rely on this. So this is the first thing, and you need to download it. So here I have to upload the sample. Okay. So for that, I have to go to file and I have to open it. Click on open, and I have to select this file. So it's already placed in my desktop. So under this folder, on this one. Go to associate. I have to select the sample. So this is the extracted sample I have. I have to select it or only single click I have to give because I'm not going to disturb the sample. Again, that's a slowdown. Please hold on for a moment. ഇല്ല കിട്ടുന്നില്ല സ്ലോ ആയാ എനിക്ക് ഒന്നും കിട്ടുന്നില്ല എനിക്ക് ഇവിടുന്ന് മൂവ് ചെയ്യാൻ കിട്ടുന്നില്ല ഒന്ന് കണക്ട് ചെയ്യുക എനിക്കിത് ഈ എടുക്കാൻ ഇപ്പൊ വലിയ കുഴപ്പമില്ല ഏതാ കുഴപ്പമില്ല നാളെ So what I does was, okay, now what happened is you can see that my threat protection settings has been on now. So when I start analysis, so it's got on now I think because my sample was got disappeared. And I have to go to manage settings. Slow, yeah. അത് എനിക്കിവിടെ ഭയങ്കര സ്ലോ ആയിട്ട് എടുക്കാൻ പറ്റുന്നു Okay, so now you can see that ഹലോ, എനിക്ക് ഇപ്പോഴും ആക്സസ് കിട്ടുന്നില്ല. അതൊന്ന് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്തേ. ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്തേ, ഇതൊന്ന് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്തേ. വിൻഡോ, ഈ വിൻഡോ ഒന്ന് ക്ലോസ് ചെയ്യാം. എനിക്കത് വിസിബിൾ അല്ല. എന്റെ സ്ക്രീൻ അത് വിസിബിൾ അല്ലെന്ന്.
Excuse me, sir. Your mic is on mute.
Sir, you are not audible.
Excuse me, sir. Jobin sir, can you hear me?
Excuse me, sir. You are not audible.
You can see that.
Audible, but hello.
You can see this 4D5A, and here this is the first entity. These are first 2 bytes. I'm getting this decoded text, that is MZ. MZ is when I just clicked here only, but the thing is I'm just getting a text correspond to that is MZ. Okay. Now what happened is we're getting another indication. Now, so what happened is here, this we need to look for the first 2 bytes. Whenever you got a file, let's just look for the first 2 bytes. If there is a particular file type. Okay. So here it can say that if you are encountered 4D5A, then and the decoded text will be MZ, then probably the assumption is you will be encountered with an exe file. Okay, so this is the particular indication, that is the first and foremost indication. This is the first file type. Though we are okay, we uploaded the file with an extension .bin. Okay. Hello. Okay. So this is actually MZ. So this is the first and foremost indication. This is the file type. Okay. Now what happened over here? This if we want applied with the file as an extension .bin, but now we have this the indication is 45A, which means that it's an exe file. But this depending upon the file type, because what happened is this particular 2 bytes will be determined in the file type, but it's not always the case. If it is for PDF kind of thing, the file type will be something else. So the file like identification such as number of bytes will be something less. It will be like 6 to 7 bytes. Okay, with certain values corresponds to a PDF file. So depending upon the corresponding file under consideration, your indication that the file type indications will actually varies. Okay, yeah. So and next indication you can just look at that.
So you are muted. So please unmute yourself, please.
Sir, your voice is not audible, sir.
Hello, Jobin sir. You are not audible.
Yeah, probably there's another indication. So you can see this program cannot be run in DOS mode. So what exactly you mean? You can run that particular program, okay, by executing any command line if it is DOS mode. But here you say that this program cannot be run in DOS mode. What exactly the meaning is? It does not support DOS command line execution. Rather, it may support a GUI, graphical user interface. So this is like particular indication you're getting it from this particular tool. You can see that followed by this, we have a various characters which is not human readable. And apart from that, we can see that there is a particular entity called PE. You can see over there. So it's corresponding to this one. There is an indication which is called as 5045. Okay. So whenever you encounter this 5045 corresponding to a decoded text PE, it stands for the portable executable file. So this is the starting point of the portable executable file. So whenever any exe file is being considered, what happens is if an exe file, if it is a Windows based, most of the time it is supposed to exe. So this is an exe file. Or in a Windows file system, that every file system under Win, that is even if it is exe or if it is some executable like DLL, all those things we actually comes under the category of portable executable file, that is called PE in short. Okay, portable executable. So there is a starting point of the portable executable, because when we are taking an extra Windows file or exe file, there will be various headers associated with it. So this is the starting point of any sort of files, but probably what then you may think that what happened or what is the previous one. Okay, so this first indication when we look for the file type, these particular entities are called as DOS header. Okay, and followed by these entities. So there will be this program cannot be run in DOS mode and all those things. We have a various optional header. Okay, so that okay we can add up with various functionalities. So that is optional headers are that. Now we have a now PE header is that this is another header which starts with 5045. So you can indicate, you can get an indication from that where exactly your PE header is starting in this in this particular context. And we have seen that lot of other lot of other sections. So you can see that after this PE header, we have various sections associated with it. This is actually gives an indication about the sections. So I'm just giving you one section here. You can see that TXT text section, and we have seen that there is another section called R data, and there is another section called dot data. Okay, and subsequently many sections are available for this. Okay, so this is the first and foremost indication that we are getting it when we do this sort of analysis, right? We are getting it. Okay, now yeah, so now we just close it. Now what happened is we need to identify what could be the indications, that is what is the signature corresponds to this particular file. So for that thing, I may look for the other things. So because I'm just going to see that whether this working fine also. I have got a sample, and after this what I have to do is I have to select a particular sample. I need to identify what would be the exact signature or what is the identification. You know that yesterday during our forensic analysis, I know you know that every file has a hash, right? So in that we need to determine what could be the hash of this particular file. So for those things, I have to go to slow hand. Okay. So now we have to look for this tool that is called as hash my files. So here you can see this is the window corresponding to hash my files. So I'm just maximizing it. So here what I have to do is I'm supplying a particular file. Okay, I'm just selecting it by looking at here my sample over there. So I've suggested over there, I selected it's open. Okay, now what happened over here is see that the corresponding the sample that we have a various hashes which will be displayed over there. Okay, so this is actually MD5, SHA-1 to CRC32, SHA-256, 512, etc. Various hashes have been generated, and you can actually check for this particular hashes by copying it, any of the hashes. Okay, you can send when you right click on it, you can copy down that any of the hashes. But for example, I'm just copying it. Okay, and I'm just opening it. Let me just check it whether it is fine, whether I'm getting net or not. I'm just going to check it. Okay, so I'm just getting it. So yesterday you have been seeing about this functionality of VirusTotal, right? You might be seeing this. So you can copy down that hash and you can actually click on this. This is the VirusTotal, and you need to find out whether a particular file is being malicious or not. All those things you can check it out by supplying the file in their file as such, or you can supply the URL or you have to, you can find out the hash and you can supply by clicking on this search. So in the search, you can able to see that you can supply the URL, IP address, or domain or file hash. Okay. So I'm just pasting that MD5 hash I copied. See how you can see that this could be malicious one, and this would be 61 out of 72 people vendors are claimed that this malicious. And you can see what are the vendors which actually claimed it, whether it is what sort of file it is, right? So this indication you're getting it from this particular tool, and you can generate the hashes based on using this particular tool called HashMyFiles. Okay. Now this we identified that what exactly the indication, and we understood that there is a malicious one. And now what I have to do is we have to extract the useful information from the particular sample. Now what we have to do is we have to go to this tool again. Then we have to use the tool. So this is now this is another thing. So if you want to extract and you need to get that information related to the tool, then you have to find out if you want to extract the information, then you can use this particular tool called PE Studio. And in that case, I'm just using this. I'm just typing it. I'm just going to select my sample. Now, what I have to do is I have to select my sample. So here, this is my sample. And I have to load this. Now, let me just maximize it. So this is the indicators. You can see here. The first bytes or all those things, you can see the 4D5, right? And the recorded text, you can see this is MZ. And you can see that there is the signature say that Microsoft Visual C++. So the programming language is used for generating this is actually making it given over there. And we have a Visual Studio 2005, which is actually the tool. And you say that it's an executable file, which is confirmed. Now we can say that subsystem is GUI. So that means in previous tool, it say that this program cannot be executed in DOS mode. I told you this can be this might be supporting GUI. So here we can it's quite evident that it's support GUI. Now what happened is you can see there is a particular when you look for the left side of this, what happened is you can look that there are certain indicators. So that there is indicators are red like highlighted in red, yellow, and possibly black. So these are there are based on the criticality of the particular informations that can be Sorry for the trouble. I just joined like this unexpected connection termination was happened. Okay, so here you can see we have been talking about this. Just a second. No? Okay, fine. Yeah. Okay, so so this is the indications we can extract from this samples. Okay, so due to certain disconnections and all those things, actually this cannot be done in a smoother way so far, and frequent disconnections has actually happened. So extremely that is actually not like it's actually bit troublesome. So now we will wind up the session. Is already time. Now I will share this the PPT to you for your further reference. And in case if you require any sort of assistance or any sort of clarifications, you can reach out to me through your coordinators, and you can get the mail ID from the coordinator, and then I can share that PPT to you as well. Okay, thank you for your patient listening, and have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. Any queries?
Sir, can we have any references through which we can explore certain things which you have explained briefly? I mean, the last session is quite, and I mean, we are trying to cope up with you, but a certain disturbance.
No, that's actually this is actually quite unexpected for me. Yeah, so it's actually
can you share some reference material or something link through which we can follow all these steps which you have just followed, so that will help us to understand.
Yeah, so I'll just share some of the links. Yeah, probably that might give certain idea. So the tool link, the tool that is the particular tool link that I have used is also I will share that link also I will share through your coordinator, and probably you can have a look at that. Once it has been done, then you may have your own setup.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay.
So yeah.
Good evening, all. On behalf of the Department of Computer Applications, MES College, Maramballi, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Jobin Jose, Assistant Professor, IIIT Kottayam, for today's insightful session on penetration testing and malware analysis. The way you not only explain the concept, but also try to demonstrate the practical aspects of penetration testing and malware analysis made this session a more impactful and engaging. Your clarity and expertise have given participants a strong foundation to expose these critical areas of cybersecurity further. Finally, I extend my gratitude to all the participants for your involvement, and also I would like to sincerely thank you for your patience and cooperations during the brief network issue. So your understanding helped us continually, smoothly, and complete the session successfully. With this, we conclude today's session. Thank you, sir, and thank you all once again. Thank you.
Thank you all for bearing with me for the time being.